You ever watch your whole life nearly go up in flames because someone decided your piece of dirt looked better on their balance sheet? Yeah, that happened. My name's John Miller, born here, raised here, and if there's any justice left in the world, I'll die here too. Hopefully not run over by my own tractor, though I've come close enough times to wonder if the land's just trying to keep me humble. 45 years old, stubborn as a mule, third generation to work this farm, husband to Laura. She's got a heart bigger than the county and a glare that can freeze a grown man mid-sentence. 2 kids, Cassie and Lucas, sharper than a pair of fence pliers, both with enough sense to know there's something sacred in sweat and soil. Our farm sprawls over 3,000 acres of Kentucky's finest sunburned earth. We've got everything: cattle, sheep, greenhouses, enough chickens to make sunrise sound like a fire alarm. The place hums like a kicked beehive most days, but it's ours. Always has been, even when the world's tried to say otherwise. My dad ran it before me, and his dad before him, all the way back to a man who signed the first deed with a handshake and a promise. I stepped up 10 years back, when cancer took my father quick and cruel. Wasn't ready, but life's funny that way. It doesn't much care what you're ready for. Laura keeps the books and the peace. Cassie's off studying environmental engineering. Lucas wants to play college ball, and both still come home when the fields call their names. There's something about this place that pulls you back no matter how far you roam. For years, we had a good rhythm going. Steady contracts, a tight crew, handshake deals with the local HOA, Silver Creek Estates. That was the fancy suburb crowd that snuck up on our eastern border over the years, all shiny siding and big ideas about community values. But they bought our eggs and pork, and in return, we could use their lake, just for fishing or letting the dog cool off on a hot day. No paperwork, no drama, just neighborly trust and the occasional jar of peach preserves at Christmas. That all changed in late May, and let me tell you, it didn't feel like trouble at first. The HOA's produced truck just stopped showing up. No calls, no emails, nothing. I tried the number for Dale, their old president, a good guy, loved bad jokes, always smelled like fertilizer, but he'd vanished, mailbox full. Then one Saturday, Laura and I are down by the lake with the dog, sun out, breeze just right, when a kid in a golf cart rolls up and tells us it's members only. Members? I almost laughed. I told him we'd been using this lake since before he was out of diapers, but he just shrugged, said it was orders from the new board president. That was the first time I heard the name Karen Riley. Big city lawyer type, moved in a couple years back, quick to file a complaint, slow to say hello. Suddenly, the friendly handshakes dried up, and the doors started closing. Laura said we should bake cookies, go talk it out. I agreed, but never got the chance. Next morning, I see a convoy rolling up our drive. Black SUV, a Prius, Karen in cream and sunglasses like she's about to buy the place out from under me. She brings 2 board members who look like they've never seen dirt up close, smiling that smile you use before you deliver bad news. She pitches a formal agreement. Her words, not mine. 60% of our net profits to the HOA, in exchange for keeping access to their infrastructure and weekly deliveries. If not, the lake's off limits and they'll pursue legal options for land use violations. She actually said that. I asked if she was serious, and she just smiled, like a snake that found an open chicken coop. Gave me 7 days to respond. Well, I responded, probably a little more colorful than I intended, but there's only so much a man can take. Told them to get the hell off my property. After that, everything went quiet. Too quiet. The kind of stillness before a tornado, you know what I mean? No more trucks, no calls, just a tension in the air. We kept working, but I started checking locks twice and walking the tree line with the dogs at night. I even set up trail cams down by the HOA border. Then came the mail. 2 envelopes, one from a lawyer, one from Silver Creek's Community Environmental Oversight Committee. Both dripping with condescension, warning me about voluntary compliance and possible eminent domain acquisition if I didn't play ball. Eminent domain. The nerve. I tore those letters up, then paced the barnyard for an hour, smoke coming out of my ears. Laura didn't flinch, just said, "We need a lawyer." She's always right, even when I'm too mad to see it. I tried to talk to the HOA board, drove right to their clubhouse, boots caked in mud, smelling like diesel and work. Sat in the lobby for 2 hours before security showed up and showed me the door. Message received. Next day, Our main service road is blocked. Big white truck, orange cones, but no workers. Called the county, no record of construction. Called the number on the truck, voicemail. We had to reroute everything, wasting time and gas, but we got by. Then it got ugly. Jimmy, one of my hands, found 2 black plastic drums near the fence line. Chemical stink, no labels. Called the sheriff. Turned out to be banned pesticides, the kind that can ruin a field for years. Whoever did it yanked the nearest trail cam right off the tree. No witnesses, no proof, just a police report and a sick feeling in my gut. That night I sat in the dark kitchen, shotgun across my lap, staring at the land like it might suddenly turn on me. After that came the anonymous complaints. Environmental, animal health, you name it. State officials showed up, poked around, took samples, asked questions. My contracts started getting canceled until things get clarified. Rumors flew, illegal dumping, animal cruelty, all lies, all probably whispered out of Karen's wine club or whatever den of vipers she calls aboard. By now, cameras near the border were ripped down. We called the sheriff again. Nothing. Then, more roadblocks. This time, a flatbed with no tags. Tires popped to make it look abandoned. Couldn't tow it, couldn't move it. We moved crates by hand, lost a day's pay, burned through overtime just to keep the farm breathing. It felt like a siege, and everyone on the crew felt it. Then, one night, the dog Tank started barking like he'd seen a ghost. 2 figures in the shadows by the barn. I grabbed the shotgun, Laura hit the lights. Tank tackled one of them. A kid, maybe 20, with a backpack full of chemical canisters and zip ties. Cops came, found it all on camera, him screaming in pain, yelling Karen's name. That was the thread we needed. Turned out he was hired off the books by Blake Trent, an agent for a company called Silver Horizons Redevelopment LLC. Karen Riley owned 51% of it. Permits had been filed months before, right when our contracts dried up. Their plan was textbook: sabotage the land, tank its value, force a buyout under environmental codes, then scoop it up through a shell company for pennies on the dollar. We brought it all to the prosecutor: emails, footage, everything. Within 48 hours, police were raiding the HOA office. Board members started flipping, especially Davis, who gave up the whole scheme in exchange for immunity. The plan was so dirty, it made my blood run cold. They'd planned every step: cutting roads, planting evidence, setting up complaints, and poisoning my land. All for a development deal. Karen was arrested at dawn, still in her robe. Charges: fraud, sabotage, attempted land theft. Silver Creek's board collapsed. Members resigned. Residents demanded answers, even started apologizing at the farmers market. For the first time, people saw what these HOA types can do if you give them too much rope. But the damage, man, it was real. Northfield's contaminated, contracts lost, bills stacking up. We sued them for everything: property damage, lost income, business sabotage, extortion. Malcolm Harlan, our old lawyer, went after them like a dog on a bone. We subpoenaed everything: meeting notes, emails, badge logs, the works. Made sure the whole thing went public. The case made the news. Neighbors brought food, clients started coming back, and we rebuilt. By the time the trial rolled around, the farm was buzzing again, but I was still raw. Karen showed up in court looking like she smelled something bad. Her lawyer tried to spin it, but the jury saw right through it, especially when we played the footage of Cody getting tackled by Tank, screaming her name. The emails were the final nail. She'd written out the whole playbook herself. Unanimous verdict: Karen liable for everything. Assets frozen, shell company dissolved, HOA found negligent. We won damages, enough to pay my crew double, fix the fields, and sleep again at night. But victory isn't simple. The land took a hit, and so did I. But the day we rang the old bell over the dairy barn, usually for new calves born alive, my crew cheered like we'd landed on the moon. Life came back. The kids came home, the cows calmed down, and for the first time in months, I felt the land breathe. A year later, the lake is open to the public, the HOA gone, replaced by a real community board that actually listens. The sun's out, grills hot, kids are home, Tanks snoring by the pickup. Neighbors pull up with pies and beer. I stand by the water, looking out over the land that almost slipped away, and I know I'd fight it all again, every damn inch. But let me ask you, how close do you think we all are to losing what matters? just because someone with a title and a clipboard wants it? Where's the line between neighbor and enemy, community and cartel? I got my land back, but I wonder, what would you do if they came for yours? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me where you stand on property, power, and what justice really looks like when the rules get twisted. I want to hear your stories, because this fight, trust me, isn't over.